Hello YouTubers. This is an in-depth review because I can't see any other reviews on the internet regarding this item. It's a fairly rare item, but can be found now and again in the UK, and you can pick it up in Germany. And it's also quite widely available in the Marklin 3-rail. So this one is a Trix 22725 Cargo Sprinter BR Class 700, and basically it's half wagon, half loco at each end. So it's a push-pull unit. The prototype has a 6-cylinder diesel engine at each end under the cab, and it has air conditioning and a heated cab. So got a few comforts there for the driver. Yeah, so it comes in 5 wagons with the containers. Quite an interesting item, so I'm going to have an in-depth look at the inside. I'm going to do a DCC sound fit out. Yeah, and there is another version of it which looks like, looking in a 2001 Marklin catalogue, looks like that. It's all red, the cab's red, wagons are red, and different types of containers, as you can see in that. Some nice illustrations in this. Some nice pictures as well on a layout with it in a goods yard. So there we go, that's what it looks like. You get your 3 die-cast metal wagons, which are really high quality detailing underneath, air tanks, etc. Detailing on the sides, really good. Quite some weight to them. And they have the different positions, the pins to locate, the pegs for the wagons, containers, so you can put them at various positions, different sizes. And a drive car is this one with a motor inside. I'm going to open this up and have a look now, see what's inside. So we got 4-wheel drive on there, and this end is just pickups, so 8-wheel pickup, 4-wheel drive. Yeah, so I'm going to be putting it in a Lock Sound V4 standard 8-pin chip, and either a bass reflex speaker, small standard micro speaker that comes with a Lock Sound micro, or I've even got a smaller speaker, Zemo, 23mm speaker, or 11x12 speaker. I've got a choice of a few speakers there to go in here. Probably could put bass reflex here inside a load. That would go in there, no problem. You could just bring the wires through into here, but I'll take this part off here and have a look, see what's inside. I think it just slides back, lifts up. Just got to read the instructions. I don't want it to be any lugs to be broken. Yeah, so anyway, you've got to be really careful taking this off, because there's 4 lugs underneath. You've got to pull back and lift up, but you've got to do it in a very precise way and put quite a bit of force on the actual container when you're doing it, otherwise you'll probably break off the lugs, which are, as you can see, 2 on either side. Lift it up, and we have a fantastic motor with flywheel and cast metal ballast weight by the looks of it, and some weight to this. DCC interface is there, that's easy enough. Chip will probably go here, like that, making sure it's insulated. Yeah, the wires will just go down there. Speaker, well, probably could put that ESU speaker in there. That'd fit quite nicely there actually, by the looks of it. So I might go for that. Possibly May get a round one in. No, too wide. It's either that or bass reflex speaker there. So let's have a think. Possibly put a small cube speaker in. That'll fit in there nicely as well. The sound out of them are really good, the Zemo. But the motor, a high quality motor. I think it might possibly be a Swiss made motor. I'll have to have a check up on that. Nice flywheel, so it's going to be really smooth operation on this, and quiet as well. Okay, so I'm going to go for the Zemo Sugar Cube speaker, which is 8 ohm, 1 watt, 15 times 11 times 12 millimeter. So there we go, getting it ready for soldering up. I'm going to use a Locksound V4. I'm just going to connect the 2 wires onto the speaker. I think this is the best size speaker really. And for this, because it's such small terminals, I'm just using the enhanced magnifier on the magnifying glass. You get a perfect view of what's going on, which makes soldering much easier. Yeah, so I'm just checking the decoder now, see the speaker's working on the decoder tester via the programmer, which is there. So it should be fine, it's logged on okay, so I'll just go to driver's cab, power up, and the default sound files on there, working quite nicely. Lights working fine, just test the motor. The motor's fine. And then it's just a case of upgrading the decoder software if necessary, and that's it. And install sound file and then install to the actual loco, which is now just sat over there. Yep, I can get that in there now. Yeah, so at the moment updating the decoder firmware to bring it bang up to date. If you've, that's what you usually have to do when you buy a blank sound decoder or one that's been in stock for quite a while. It's just update it and then install sound file. Yeah, so I'm going to go for a DR V60 switcher diesel loco, because I can't find a specific sound file for this particular set, so I'm just going to download that and install that, see what it sounds like. All set up, sound file loaded. Tested and done, and just fit it in now. And so I'll just take it straight out, switch off the decoder tester and the programmer, take chip out, speaker's already in there. It's just a case of very easily pushing in the interface plug. When I say easy, I should never really say easy. Sometimes simple looking things can turn into a complete and utter nightmare. Gently push it into the circuit board, not all the way, just slightly, that's what I do. Speaker can go there. Speaker's going to go anywhere around here. Might possibly trying to put the chip on the top if I can. Move this wire in. Or I could probably put the chip there, I don't know yet, I'll have to see. So a bit of the sealant tape, which is rolled up in a ball, put that on the back of the speaker and simply push into position, making sure nothing's going to short out. That's how it goes. That's how this one's going to go anyway, I think. Hopefully the cover will be enough space, more than enough space. It's just a matter of making sure I can position this chip, a bit more of the tacky stuff rolled up just to keep it in place. It's an insulated chip anyway, so that could probably go just like that. It's just a case of tidying the wires up, cutting this purple auxiliary wire off, because not all the way, just 90% of that will be cut off just in case I need it in future for something else, and tidy the wires up, see if the container top goes back on, and that'll be it. Unfortunately it's not going to go because it's just a fraction too high where the mounting is. The back end will go in, but not the front. It's just a fraction too high, so the chip's going to have to come out and it's going to be a lockdown micro, or I can move the chip to this part inside a container. That's the other option, so I'm not sure what to do yet. Yeah, so I'm resorting to a lockdown micro, which means I've got to do the same thing all over again. Update the firmware, upload the sound file onto this lockdown micro. Yeah, so there it's done. Just when you think something's going to be simple, it isn't. So I've had to take the lockdown 4 out, put a lockdown 4 micro in, change the speaker over, and I've decided to put the lockdown micro on top there and feed the wires around and fit in the speaker just there. It works out just nicely with that speaker, and the cover goes on, the actual container cover. Probably get some more bass out of it when the cover goes on, but it fires up and it works, lighting works. Yeah, so directional lighting works, no problems. Yeah, so the onboard motor is a fine motor. It's made in Germany, Bühler motor, and they make motors for the automotive, healthcare and industrial industries, and also model trains. And that's the website behind there. Yeah, so I've been looking at how to get the cabs off of this model, and because I want to put some drivers in there and the cabs, and I've been studying it for about an hour to suss out how to get the cab off without damaging it, because it all fits together in a very precise way. So you tilt the cab forward, up, there's 2 lugs underneath at this end. Locating lugs are there, you can just see them, one on either side. Push them forward slightly and it pops up forward like that, and then you move forward where it's very tight fitting. When you push it forward, the cab comes off like on the dummy car here. It slides off, you get access to the cab, but you got to pull back, got to pull off carefully the plate which has got a circuit board on, a printed circuit board, and then you've got to pull out the light fittings one by one there, very very carefully not to break them. The top light fitting, you don't have to pull that one out because then you get access, you can just slide out the cab. You can just get it out. It's really tricky this, there we go. Get access to the cab, and you can see the top light prisms inside. And what you've got to do is line all of those 6 light prisms up when you put it back together. It is a really really tricky job to do. One of the hardest cabs to get into that I've ever tried to get into, because if you damage these light prisms, pretty much irreplaceable. Because I doubt if you get spare ones for it. So you've got to be extremely careful taking it apart and putting it back together again. So now I'm going to attempt to get the cab off the main drive unit. It's not coming off up to now, so I'm just taking my time with it. On the drive car, you've got to lift the back up slightly, and then it will not push forward on the drive car unit with the motor because of the motor fittings on the inside. You've got to get a very small screwdriver, smaller than this, and get in underneath and just push out from underneath on the 2 lugs on the front. Very very carefully. It took me about an hour to suss out how to do this without damaging it, and it just pops off. Yeah, so now we got the guy glued in with his bags. I'm going to slip that back into the cab, carefully line it up like that. So the next step will be to insert the light prisms from the headlamps and carefully line that up. Pop one in, get another, very carefully not break these. Yeah, so another thing I always do on a new model, especially on something like this which is probably 10, 12 years old, never been used, sat in a warehouse, sat in some stock, whatever, is a drop of oil on all the axles. And the best method, I reckon, is something like Fleischmann oil in a plastic tub, and you get a little pin. The reason with a pin, you can have the precise amount of oil on the end of that you want, and then just push it into place. You're not squeezing it out of a pen and over oiling it, you've just got the exact amount you want. I always do that on all my new stock, all the rolling stock, everything. There we go. Just a little small amount, that's all you need.